All right, and now I'm continuing with my global macro view on this date. And my global macro view is that, the answer to the Belt and Road Initiative is veteran-owned businesses projected out on a global basis through the Jesuit schools. And I would add Jewish schools. And again, for that, you have to look at a map. Israel is here. And the best books for this are 3 books. Dan Senor, Startup Nation. Secondly, Chris Lowney, Heroic Leadership. And thirdly, Jim Collins, Good to Great. And the key theme, the key operation is veteran entrepreneurship. So that is my global macro view. Now, the way I read The Economist is always to flip here to the markets page, because if you're going to be a market professional, you have to go to the back, and this is the Economist dated July 28th. And, the key metrics to look at are: what is the price of the S&P 500? So the S&P 500 is at 284. As I look at the market today, it's at about 280. So the key levels that I'm watching are for a 5% drop to 272. And my view is that, we're probably headed lower because, just technical reasons, because we've been overbought. And that's due to, some things that I monitor in terms of Bollinger Bands and other metrics. So that's the way that I read The Economist, and then I look at this chart of GDP, gross domestic product, change year over year. And then the next thing I look at in The Economist is the so-called leaders. The leaders are the most important topics, and every market professional should always read all the leaders, no less, every week, because almost all the influential people, rich people, but also military commanders, are reading The Economist, or the British equivalents of that, the Financial Times, etc. And I read The Economist for whether it is bullish or bearish on SPY. And so the Belt and Road Initiative, that would be a negative. It would be bearish on the SPY. Online misinformation, so-called fake news, I would call that neutral. Competition in Britain, I would call that probably neutral. Reform in Europe, neutral. Zimbabwe elections, neutral. So in this particular Economist, one item is definitely a negative on the SPY. And that's a 15-minute read of The Economist that I'll do every week.